Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah, Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah.
Oh man. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome to another session of Sunnahfollowers Hadith class. And this is a class wherein we discuss hadiths that relate and pertain to women in Islam. And let's put the hadith up for discussion tonight. The source of this hadith, this is a Tirmidhi hadith, but you can also find versions of it in Muslim, Bukhari, and Muwatta as well. It's narrated from Abu Hurairah. He said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the perfume for men is that whose scent is apparent while its color is hidden. The perfume for women is that which color is apparent, but the scent is hidden. You know, this is another hadith. You have to understand what the Prophet is speaking about here. And this is the hadith that speaks about how women are forbidden to wear perfume outside the house around men who are not mahrams. In other words, the Prophet is saying that it doesn't matter for a man. A man can wear perfume around women because women are not the same as men. We are not easily aroused by voices. We're not easily aroused by scent and smell. But men are weak to the female voice. Men are weak to the female smell. So this is why females, when we leave the home, we have to make sure that our voices are not softened publicly and that we do not put on perfume that can be smelled easily by men, because it will attract them, arouse them, and can cause them to harm us. You know, so again, perfume in and of itself is not haram. If you are wearing it around your husband or around non-mahram men, say, for example, you go to spend time with your mother and your brothers and your nephews and your uncles. If you don't have on perfume, that's fine, because these are non-mahram men. But to put on perfume, you know, and go to the masjid, this is forbidden completely. To put on perfume and go to the grocery store, this is forbidden. To put on perfume and go to the mall and hang out around men, this is forbidden. To put on perfume and go around women, this is okay. This is permissible. Say, for example, if I was having a female gathering, you know, and I invited all the sisters over and the sisters wore perfume here, that's fine because there's no men. But if there were any non-mahram men, no perfume. So it's just a simple thing. You know, a lot of people will take the laws and rules of Allah and bend them to make them either too rigid or to make them too lenient. You got a lot of men that got a problem with perfume, so they'll tell you it's haram. You can't wear the perfume anywhere. Who said that? The Prophet said not around men who are not mahrams. He did not say that I can't wear perfume. He didn't say I can't wear it, you know, to get in my car. Ain't nobody in my car but me. We have to be careful imposing our own conditions and our own rules into Islam, because Islam has been perfected for us by Allah. Allah didn't forget anything and he didn't leave anything out, and he meant exactly what he said. And Allah knows his creation better than we know ourselves. There's a lot of women out there who call themselves into this feminist movement. Shame on you women for that. You need to learn what you're supposed to be as a woman. But they'll try to say, oh, Islam, you know, it's so against us. And, oh, you know, Islam is so rigid. No, Allah is trying to protect you because he knows, you know, the nature of his creation. He doesn't make these rules to punish us. You know, we have to learn to accept that Allah knows what's best for us. We say we believe in him, then act like you believe in him. If you believe in him, you will obey him. You women who don't wear hijab, you women that put on perfume and go out to the mall and hang out, you know, you women that dress up looking like prostitutes in tight-fitting clothing or see-through clothing, you know, hanging around and out in the malls and stuff, you know, you say you believe in Allah. Do you really? If you believe in him, you would obey him. So that's what this hadith is speaking about. So now that I've explained this hadith, any comments? Who would like to share, if anyone? The hadith is basically, yeah, go ahead.
Well, can I ask you, what is the difference between perfume, body spray, and body mist?
A big difference.
The difference.
Yeah, big difference. Body spray and body mist blows off when the wind hits it. It ain't really perfume. It's scent. It's a scent that's put in alcohol. You know how it's made. Put in alcohol, and everything is scented nowadays. They put a scent in detergent. They put a scent in hand lotion. They put scents in everything, but perfume is perfume. It's not a mixed with alcohol and a scent. Perfume will go on, or it'll come to you and stay on you until you wash it off. So it's a big difference. And we got to be careful of those type of Muslims too, who are so rigid and fanatical that they try to make life unbearable. They try to make life hard. If I put on body mist, can't nobody smell me unless you up on me. And if you got a man up on you, you got a problem. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, any woman who puts on perfume, every man that she walks past who smells her, she has adulterated with. So now do you understand the difference, Umi Beryl?
Yes, I do. And the reason why I ask is that the reason why
people ask that. If I put on perfume, body mist, and walk past you, you ain't gonna smell me.
And that's the reason why I asked, because it happened to me once at my work. I definitely bought a body mist, and I have it right here just to read it, so I can read it to you. And when I went to work, like there was a man that worked with us. When I walked past, he said that you smell nice. So right there, I froze. So if the smell can hit another man, that means that somebody else smelled it. Stop.
And we have to remember too, like Sheikh Morsi always tries to emphasize for me to teach to you guys, the strong believer is more loved by Allah than the weak one. You guys see what's going on in the news today. I've been telling you guys as a daya here at Sunnahfollowers that all the greater signs of the last hour are here, except for the next session, which will be the war against Islam. That will be when the United Nations, those 80 countries, the Prophet said 80 flags, 80 countries will declare war against all Muslim countries. That's getting ready to happen with what's happening now with Russia and Ukraine. Like the Prophet said, as that we get further and further, closer and closer to the last hour, the haram will surround us. The haram is everywhere. There's no escaping the haram. Music is everywhere. You can't go to a grocery store. You can't go to a bank or anywhere without music. You can't ride in your car without music. Perfume is put in everything. They put perfume in body soap. They put it in your deodorant. They put it in your makeup. They put it in your lotion. They put it everywhere. So like Sheikh Morsi says, some things we cannot avoid, okay? Because there's perfume in everything, guys, really, seriously, okay? That's where your aqidah comes in. The strong believer is more loved by Allah than a weak one, because the strong believer lives in an environment of nothing but haram, but he or she maintains their dignity and their Islam to the best of their ability. So if I walk, let me tell you what happened to me one day at work. I washed my clothes, went to work. Wallahi, this loser I worked with said, "Astaghfirullah, Sister Layla, you smell good. I said, well, I hope you like Tide, because I sure as hell ain't got no perfume on. So there it is. You know, if you smell me, that's your problem. I hope you love Tide, because Tide has perfume in it. You know, and so again, you know, so what? You know, and intent, this is where intentions come in. We cannot escape the evil. It's everywhere. So what we gonna do? Do like that woman did in the early 2000s in Pennsylvania when she got out of her car and jumped off a bridge and killed herself because the man next to her wouldn't turn his music off? So that's what I'm saying. So if a man walks past you, you smell good. Well, I hope you like my body wash. I hope you like my Tide. That happened to me too. I went to the grocery store one day. Oh, you smell good. Must be Dove. Nothing we can do. But what these hadiths are talking about is women deliberately, intentionally putting on perfume, because this is something that the Arab women used to do and they still do. I tell you guys all the time, Islam came about and reformed us. Before Islam, the Arabic women would put on a lot of perfume, and they would put on their ankle bracelets, and they would put on their bangles, and they would go to the marketplace, stomp their feet to get attention, fan their perfume for attention, and make their voices like this. So that's why these laws were made. These hadiths are speaking about the women who deliberately, intentionally put on perfume, soften their voices, put on accessories just to attract the attention of men and go out the house. It's not talking about a simple person like you or me who wash our clothes, go to work and take a bath and go to work, and all of a sudden, ooh, you smell good. Oh, I hope you like body wash and Tide, and we keep it moving. Because remember, Allah loves beauty. Allah loves cleanliness. There are some Muslims I know that are so fanatic with these hadiths that they'll tell their wives that they can't wear deodorant. They won't allow their wives to wear lotion because, you know, most lotion is scented, the good kind. The unscented kind, I'm sorry, it ain't gonna work because I tried it. Okay? They'll tell their wives they have to make their own soap. They can't use Tide. They can't use Cheer, or because this stuff has perfume in it. And these women are slovenly in their appearance. These women come to the mosque smelling like musk. These women come to the mosque smelling like they just had relations with their husbands. Because I'm sorry, guys, the perfume stuff is what cleans you and takes away the smell of fish and funk. So again, that's the difference between perfume and regular stuff that takes away the smell of uncleanliness. Even in the Prophet's days, the women would take baths with eucalyptus. They didn't have soap like we have, but they would put eucalyptus in their bath because, and you know, eucalyptus is considered a perfume, but it cleanses you. They would put menthol too. Menthol cleanses you, and it has a smell, a nice clean smell. It smells like Mr. Clean smell. So you mean it? So even in the Prophet's days, he's talking about women that deliberately put on the real perfume. We ain't talking about Tide. We ain't talking about body wash. We ain't talking about body lotion. We talking about real perfume, because you want to go find you a real man. Everybody get the difference? Because back then they bathed in eucalyptus and different scents too, to take away the smell of fish. And you all know what fish is. And Allah don't like that filth. All right, so don't be fanatical and extreme, guys. The religion is easy. Like the Prophet said, the religion is easy. Allah's laws are easy. Therefore, our betterment, you know, don't abuse them and don't misuse them. Don't be a fanatic and don't be too lenient. Seek the middle course in all things and use your intelligence. Everybody understand? Okay, any other questions or comments about this hadith? Let me put it up here again. And again, it's talking about perfume. Y'all know what it is. The prophet said the perfume for men is that in which you can smell, but it has no color. But the perfume that women can wear is one that has color, but no smell. And he's talking about leaving your home, going around men who are not mahrams. Any woman that puts on perfume and goes around men and stomps her feet and softens her voice to get attention has the curse of Allah on her. And I want you sisters to think about that, especially you women that's sitting around on social media with those soft voices. Because it's disgusting to hear how a bunch of you sound like a bunch of baby dolls. And you don't have to make your voice soft to read the Quran. The beauty in the Quran is the tajweed, not how soft or loud you make your voice. So you women need to fear Allah because you know what you're doing. This is considered in Islam the behavior of prostitutes. Think about it. Are you being a prostitute or are you being a believer? I'm washing up with body wash. I'm using deodorant because I want to smell good for my Lord. That ain't no prostitute. But putting on some old, my Chanel and going out to the mosque to hang around the men, that's a prostitute. Big difference between body wash and mist and Chanel. Y'all get it? All right. So I want to thank everybody.
I would like to add something. What I take from this hadith is, some of us desire things we shouldn't be desiring. Like, some women wish to wear perfume out in the public and some actually go ahead and do it. And, we should align our desires with the things Allah loves. And, if Allah said something for a reason, it's for our own good. And we should, take heed from this hadith. If something is forbidden for us to do, it doesn't matter, who's doing it. It will always be unlawful. But the unlawful nowadays is becoming like normalized. They call people extreme because they practice Quran and Sunnah. And but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone says because we're only trying to please Allah. So who cares about the people?
Exactly. Please Allah. Allah loves beauty and Allah loves cleanliness. Because of that, I use body wash. Because I'm not going to go around smelling like a muskrat nor smelling like dead fish, okay? But I'm not gonna put on no Chanel and go around no men to try to pick you up either, because women who do that to be picked up. Y'all understand? We can fool each other, but we can never fool Allah. Everything we do, what did the prophet say? All actions are a result of intentions. Any woman that does put perfume on and goes around men, she does it because she wants to be noticed. She wants to be recognized. You ain't fooling Allah. You may fool yourself, but not him. Yeah, you had a comment, Lucy?
I was listening to you about the men, because the men that I've been around that's supposed to be Muslims, some of them don't take baths. And that's the first thing that comes at you. That's a turn on for any woman to smell something before it get to you. Yes. And it's just nasty.
Yeah, that's why the prophet encouraged this. Y'all don't understand. He encouraged all these hadiths on cleanliness and beauty. The prophet, before the prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the call to prophethood, remember these were the dark ages. People didn't take baths. The Arabs lived in the desert. Water was scarce. They would go months, not days, not weeks. They would go months without bathing. They always had harems of women. They always had relations with all their women. Can you imagine having relations with all of and not taking a ghusl afterwards? But that's what the Arabs did. The Vikings, they were the barbarians. They pillaged the land. The Vikings hated to bathe. They hated bathing so much that they used to sew their clothing on them. This is history. Google it. That's what my degree is in. Okay, the Vikings would sew their clothing on them so they wouldn't have to bathe. People were nasty back then. They had diseases. They had all kind of plagues because it was a different time. So the prophet came and he said, I was sent to teach you good manners. And by teaching you good manners, I will teach you Islam. And if one of the first things he taught is Allah loves cleanliness. You people have to bathe. He told the Arabs, we cannot sit around here going months without taking a bath, having relations with your wives without bathing. Allah doesn't like funk. You have to, and to this day, Arabs still have a problem with their teeth. They don't go to the dentist. They don't take care of their teeth. He would say, look at your breath stinks. Your teeth are rotten. Your beards are not combed right. You men have all these women and you're not caring. And you look at you women. Look at you women. So the prophet encouraged cleanliness. He taught us how to bathe. He taught us how to stand in the water and wash yourself from head to toe, because they weren't doing that. Why do you think he had to teach them? They weren't taking gussels like that. So again, guys, you know, this religion is all about being clean. Nowhere did Allah say a woman has to be dirty. A woman can wear perfume. A woman can wear makeup. A woman should have beautiful clothing. But it's your intention behind it that counts, number one. And also, Allah wants to protect you. Don't put on perfume and go around men, because they're going to rape you. Them Vikings over there, because back then the Vikings were raping and plundering. Them Vikings, they get a hold of your behind, they're going to rape you. Okay? Don't soften your voice, because it will turn your men on and they may molest you. Okay? And don't stomp your feet to get attention, because that attention may be the last attention you ever receive. So Allah made these laws to protect us women, because this was an era in which women had no rights. Women were plundered. Women were raped. Women were treated like cattle by the Romans, by the Persians, by the Vikings, by the Egyptians even. So that's why all these rules came about. So again, and nobody wants to stink. You think Allah is going to accept your prayers, you standing before him smelling like a dead fish? So yes, you can wear your body lotion and your body spray and your body deodorant, but when it comes to putting on Chanel No. 5, that's something a little different. You want to put on a little bit of Gucci, that's a little bit different. You want to put on some Paris, a little different. You guys know the difference between perfume and body wash. They're not the same. Okay, any other comments? Okay, go ahead.
Is just like Sister Lucy mentioned, you know, nowadays, you know, before a person, like, you're even like attracted to a person, the way they smell gets to you. Like, I've passed by a lot of people, like, you know, and I'm like, wow, that person smells good, so they must take care of their, you know, they take care of themselves, because, you know, you're a man and Allah told you you can wear perfume, but you got some of these Muslim men that just smell like sweat, and they're just disgusting. And I'm like, you're a man, you should be smelling good already, you know, but it shows you, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with smelling good, but of course for a woman it's different, you know. But it's like, if you're a man, like, take care of yourself, you know, look presentable. Like the prophet, peace be upon him, he looked good. Like, the people loved him. The man dressed up. He made sure that, you know, he knows that Allah loves beauty, so he was always beautiful in everything he wore. And he was beauty in what, you know, in the way he smelled. He brushed his teeth. It's just like, come on, like, the sunnah is, like, nowadays is being lost, but we need to get back to the sunnah, because nobody got time for people to be smelling nasty, especially during, like, when you go to a wedding. it's just like some wedding halls is just musty. Like, what is, and you can't even breathe anymore. It's just like, it's time to go. Even when people come to the mosque, they smell like food. They smell like, just nasty. Like, people can't even pray no more because, you're smelling like curry or whatever the heck you're smelling like. So it just, like, this hadith is like very important when we get down to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and remember, I want y'all to remember, not only did the prophet look good, so did his wives. This is hadiths about women here. All his wives looked good when they left that house. You never smelled Aisha smelling like fish. You never smelled Salama's musk underneath her arm. Aisha didn't leave the house in a torn, tattered hijab and a torn, tattered jilbab and smelling like dead fish. His wives were all beautiful. There are numerous hadiths that speak of the beauty of all his wives, the beauty of Zainab, the beauty of Salama, the beauty of Habiba, the beauty you are not going to find. And that means those hadiths are narrated by men. So in order for those men to describe the beauty that they were, that means the women were out publicly showing their beauty. So we all know about the prophet. The problem is y'all want to restrict women. His wives walked with him in beauty and cleanliness. Y'all understand that? And all the hadiths describing how beautiful those women were came from men. So they didn't hide it publicly. All right, so get a life for those of you who want to restrict women. Because it's a horrible thing to see a bunch of low-looking women. A woman walking with a man. He looking good in his turban. His beard is combed and clean. His stole beautiful. The woman behind him is a foot behind him. And she's got her whole body covered where you can't see nothing but a cross little eye like this. And she looks disheveled. She looks trifling. She looks unhappy. She walks with her head down, bumping into stuff. That's what ticks me off. You men want to oppress a woman. The Sunnah is not just the prophet, but it's also his wives. His wives are the role models for women. And his wives didn't walk around looking like that with him. They walked beside him. And they were just as clean, dignified, and beautiful as he was. That's why all those hadiths narrated by men speak of their beauty. I'd like to thank everybody for joining and participating. Let's take these hadiths and put them to use. Okay, you sisters, don't go around non-mahram men wearing your perfume. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your body wash, your deodorant, your eaves for between your legs. All that stuff is okay. Just don't put on no Chanel and go around no men trying to be a prostitute, and stop softening your voices on social media. Thank you for joining and participating. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.